Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Christy Vann with VANNtastic Finances, and on this channel I teach velocity banking. So today we are working with a man out of West Virginia, and he is wanting to pay down his credit cards as quickly as possible. So we have run a scenario on his current debt, and we find that he can probably get rid of those credit cards and the cars very, very quickly. So we start with the income, which is at $8,200. Expenses are at $53.77, and his cash flow is currently at $2,820. So we're going to start with this HELOC at 10%, $27,000. His income, the $8,200, will go in month one. His expenses at $51.27 will come out. Now the $51.27 is the $53.77 minus the HELOC's $250 payment, because once we start doing income transfers, that knocks out the payment. We added the interest at $225 in month two. Income goes in, expenses, interest come back out. Month three, the same thing happens, but at the end of month three, he is going to pay off Flagstar. The $291 will now become cash flow, and his expenses will go down to $4,836. His interest is added at $199, and he stands at $20,621. In month five, his income goes in, and his expenses and interest come back out. In month six, he'll do the same thing. Income in, expenses out. Month seven, he comes in, and he's going to pay off 5 of his credit cards: the Discover 1, the Discover 2, the Synchrony card, Capital One card, and Capital One card number 2, bringing him to a total of $15,541 on his balance. His expenses will then be reduced because all of these payments that he was making has now been turned into cash flow, and he is at $42.61 for his expenses now. The interest comes out. He's back up to $19,932. The income comes out in month 8. The expenses come out. Month 9, the same thing. Month 10, he is going to pay off First United at $10,900. Yes, these balances will probably be lower when we get there because he's been paying on this for the whole time, but we just left it the same to leave room for error. The expenses now are at $39.49 after reducing this payment by $312. The interest now comes out. In month 11, he transfers $8,200 income back in. Expenses and interest come out. Month 12, the same thing, but he's going to put $27,600, which is the car. He's going to pay it off, bringing his balance to $34,417. His expenses come down again because we took off that car payment over here at $485. His interest is pulled out again. Now remember, on the interest, I always charge on the high balance. So the $316 is 10% of the high balance in this month. Then in month 13, he's going to put in the income, the expenses, and interest come out again. Month 14, the same thing. Month 15, the same thing. Month 16, the income goes in, the expenses and interest come out again. Month 17, income in, expenses out. Month 18, the same thing. Month 19, he is going to put in his income. He'll be at a balance of $2,833, and we're going to pick up $28,900 of this truck right here. Now, it's $48,900 currently, but by the time he gets all the way over here to his 19th month, it's probably going to be quite a bit lower. But we're just going to take the $28,900, put it in the loan because this is a $50,000 HELOC, and we don't want to exceed that, and we don't want to even get close to those limits. So we're going to just put in a partial amount of the truck. Then we're going to pull the expenses and the interest back out. He's going to be at $35,297 in month 20. The income is going to go in, the expenses and the interest come out. 21, the same thing. 22, he's going to put his income in. He'll be down to $18,178. The truck will then be paid off $20,000, meaning that the cash flow of $679 will be added and the expenses will be deducted. His balance will then be at $41,143. The income in month 23 goes in, bringing his balance down to $32,953. And then in month 24, his income will go in, and I ran out of board. So I figured it on my own, and I figured that for 5 more months he will do income in, expenses out, and in month 29 he is going to be debt free except for his home, and that's going to go very, very quickly. Now, we know that since I didn't take any deductions off of any of the credit cards, off of the car or the truck, that he's certainly going to be out of debt before the 29 months is up. But that gives it room for error. That gives him room if he has expenses that happen to pop in during that time. But regardless, he is going to be rid of all of this. This is a lot of numbers, isn't it? We really ran through a lot of numbers today. I wanted to do it quickly, but at the same time, I wanted you to see that just because you have a load of debt does not mean that it can't be gone very, very quickly. And I would say 2 years is pretty good for this guy, wouldn't you? I appreciate you all joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great day.